Hey y'all, Sharon here. A lot of you have asked us a lot of questions about the dash cam that we haven't been able to answer. So I've kind of given you the link to the PDF that's supposed to give you information. And I read through it today. Finally, I managed to sit down and start reading through it. And it really is not very useful. So I came out into Walter's vehicle this morning and taught myself how to use this little guy, and I'm going to show you guys how to change the settings and do different things with it. It is not very user intuitive, so just be patient and eventually you'll get used to the weird little buttons, and I'm going to show you what each of them does and what they mean. And the app that you can download, it's not really useful. It's just for downloading the images and videos from the camera to your phone. You can't control the camera from the app. So if it's important to download to your phone, then download the app. Otherwise, don't bother. Alright, we're going to show you guys the menus and how to flip through them and what each of the things mean. And we're going to show you which buttons to push because it is not user intuitive at all. First off, this power button here, it serves a function as kind of your select button. This middle button is your menu button. So if you hit the menu button, it brings up these two menus here, and to move between those two, you hit the menu button again. And if you hit the menu button a third time, it goes away. Okay, so we're going to talk about this first menu with the little camera on it, and your options here are resolution. You can change the resolution of your video. You can go 1080p, 2.5K, or 4K. So we want 4K. So in order to select that, we've hit the power button. And then for your loop recording, you can choose the number of minutes it will go through. You can turn that off so that you have one continuous video. 1 minute, it will go off after a minute and start recording again, so you have like 1,000,000 1-minute videos or 3 minutes or 5 minutes. We currently are going with 3. The WDR is this is a wide angle lens. And so when you do wide angle, you get distortion a lot. And what this WDR is, it helps to fix that distortion a little bit.
I agree with that.
And then the G sensor is kind of I'm told, possibly, we can't really find much about it, but I believe it's like a G-force sensor. And so you can set that to low, medium, high, or off. And what that is if your vehicle gets hit or rocked, or somebody bumps up against it, if you're in a parking lot and somebody bumps up against it, the camera will automatically come on.
Yes.
And you can determine how sensitive you want that to be, low, medium, or high.
Yes. Also, if you got in a car accident, I believe it'll save that loop.
Okay.
We need to look that up, though. I'm pretty sure that's how that
because
works.
sometimes if your disc runs out of space, it will record over it, and
Yes.
and you would want to keep that. Exposure. This is like, I guess if it's dark outside and you want to lighten, have a lighter video, you can change your exposures here to darken it or lighten it. We're just keeping it neutral because we haven't really had any issues with that. You can turn your audio. You can turn your audio recording on or off. We keep ours on, but the problem with that is sometimes it just records the video, which is not really useful. But and then you can decide whether or not you want your date stamp on or off, and that's what that is, on or off. So then to go to the next menu, see, I hit the wrong thing. And so I went out. It's just not user intuitive at all.
Yeah.
All right, so that second menu is where you'll find your Wi-Fi, and if you have the app on your phone, you have to have the Wi-Fi on in order for the two to communicate. And I'm going to talk about the app in a little bit, but it's not really useful either. Date and time, that's where you set your date and time. Clock format, you can go 12 hours or 24 hours, whatever you prefer. And the auto power off, you can change this, and what we discovered is this will automatically go off after 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or you can just leave it on. We just leave it on.
That's how he's sliding off the Jeep.
I was wondering what that was.
It's cold today.
And then you can choose a screensaver to run, and how long you want the screensaver to be.
Okay, sure.
Or when you want the screensaver to come on.
Yeah.
I think that's what that is, right?
Yeah. So right now I just do a 1 minute. So when you first start the car, you'll see the screen, and then within 1 minute it goes black, and then you don't ever see the screen again, which is I'm fine with.
Yeah.
So, but maybe you want to see the screen all the time, or maybe for a few minutes you want it up so you can play around with it. I can't see. You just push the button and the screen comes back on, so I can't see why that would be a major thing. But whatever.
Okay.
So you get, and it could be distracting. So it's nice when it goes off after a minute, then you don't have that in your eye, in your view. So.
All right. And then the beep sound, I guess you can turn off the beeping of the buttons if you would like. We keep them on.
Sure.
I turn beeps off on everything I own.
Yeah.
Language, you can choose your different languages here. They have a lot of different options. We do not want any of those. We're going to stick with English because that's what we understand. And that's the GPS. You can turn that on or off.
Okay.
And one thing to note is that if you are posting your videos, your GPS will show up on the video. So if you don't want people to know exactly where you are, you might want to turn that off. I do crop it out of the videos that we post.
And also your speed it records.
It also records your speed, so you might want to keep that in mind. But then you have your speed warning here, and what that is if you reach a certain speed, I guess it maybe beeps at you.
I guess it would.
We've not tried that, but I'm assuming that's what that's for. And then here's where you can select your time zone or your speed units or miles per hour.
Yes.
Kilometers per
hour.
It's kilometers per hour. And then your frequency, I guess, I'm not real sure.
Well, 50 would be, it's 50 or 60.
50 or 60 are your options here.
Yeah.
We go with 60.
Don't know. That's usually with alternating current, and this isn't alternating current.
Okay.
So don't understand that one either.
And then format will format your SD card.
Yep.
Which we are not going to do because we want to keep the stuff on it. And then your default setting, if that sets all of your settings back to the factory settings on the camera. And this just tells you what version you're running. I guess you can check to see if you need to update or not.
They do some updates, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
So we don't do the rear camera right now, so we can't help you guys with that.
Right. Yeah, so we don't... There was a question about the rear camera. It's 1080p. You can dual record with the rear camera, but it's at a limited... I believe it's 1440 front and 1080p in the rear to do the record and maybe possibly the view. There's a chart. If you read the PDF, they give you a chart, but you can't do 4K front and back and record and look at it. It's probably too much for the camera. I'm sure they'll probably have an upgraded camera that's got a lot more power, but 4K front, 30 frames per second. That's what we've been doing. 1080p just because I got it stuck in default mode. I was too lazy to learn how to use this, so wife has come to my rescue. So we're gonna do some 4K recording. And then we'll see what the night shots look like. We've never really messed with the stuff for at night. I'm pretty happy with the night stuff. So, but you know, we can always tweak it a little bit. And otherwise, we're happy with the camera. I'm happy with it right now. The only thing is, like we've been saying, is you have to use it. You have to be plugged in, and you have to use this mount. So now that the mount's stuck to the windshield, you can't take it in the house and play with it. There's no way to plug this camera in to a USB, even though it's only like 5 volts, 2 amps, you're kind of like, you got to sit out here in the, let's see, it's 48. It's actually 48 outside. It feels colder than that. So anyway, kind of fun for us.
And one thing I will say about the app is, I don't know if I said this or not, but its whole function seems to only be for downloading to your phone. So if you want to download video to the video to your phone, or you can also use the app to take an actual photo with the camera and download that to your phone as well. But you cannot do any of these other settings with the app. So
it's like the app is really just a viewer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
they're pretty specific about that if you dig into instructions, but intuitively you think the app would run the camera, but it doesn't. It's just a viewer.
Yeah.
It's basically a viewer.
Mm-hmm.
You can hopefully pull so instead of pulling this off the windshield and going inside, and then you have to pull the video card out of the camera every time you want to pull videos off, which isn't that bad, but then you have to, adapt it to your...
I don't know. I think there is an AV adapter here.
Maybe.
There's an adapter right there that you could probably use to connect to something.
We might try that. This is our first camera, so we don't know if all
see
of
how
them...
it went off?
Yeah.
The screensaver went off.
But you hit the button and it comes
Yeah.
back on, so that's acceptable.
It was still recording, it just went black.
Yes. Yeah, when it's recorded, it has the light up here, and you want this blue light. And the important thing about the blue light means you don't have any errors, because the other day I forgot to put the video card back in it, plugged it up, and ran around for a day, and it had the red light on. And that's because there's no internal memory. You have to record on that card. So kind of messed that up for about a day, but made sense. I mean, once you use it a little bit, it's I don't like stuff that's overly complicated, and this is on the fairly simple side for me. So
once you have all the settings and stuff, I think that helps a lot.
It's a set and
yeah, and it does show you all the settings that you have. Like you have the this is the GPS, and then this is the G-force, and it tells you that you do not have that on. That little red thing tells you that it's recording.
We got the ignition on. We're recording.
Yeah. It shows you your speed and your time, and whether or not you're doing 4K and date and time. So.
Yeah. All those little icons do tell you something. So what I did is simplify it for me. I printed out the chart of the icons, and then just kept going through it every day.
And I'm not sure why it has a battery. I think that just indicates maybe that it's got power to it, because it doesn't it doesn't have a battery in it, so I'm not sure what that's
The only
about.
thing it does is if the power's off and say somebody hit your vehicle in a parking lot, it will take a loop of pictures.
Oh, yeah.
So it has some kind of super capacitor in there that probably lasts like a minute, and maybe it's telling you it's charged
For
up.
the G-force thing.
Yeah, maybe not, but that's another thing. We've not practiced with that. I might do something where I shake the vehicle and see if it works. I think you have to shake it pretty hard probably. So, but if you get in a car accident though, it'll keep that loop and store it. It tags it as it won't get erased. So, and that's important. You don't want to lose, if somebody hits you don't want to lose a video for some goofy reason. So,
all right. So, I hope we helped you guys out. Just let us know if you have any more questions. Thanks.
Yep, thanks. Bye-bye.